In this video, I am about to blow your mind. All of the secrets of your favorite TikTokers, influencers, and content creators have finally been exposed. And guys, I put out a post a couple days ago on my Instagram asking AI what are some of the most popular and trending content that you can put out in 2023. And I got something very similar from the information that I'm about to present to you today, right? There are 5 content trends that have been identified as heavy hitters responsible for hundreds of millions of views across all platforms. I'm talking about TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, you name it. All have been responsible through these 5 trendy types of content. And you'd be surprised what they are. But before I hit it, right, when these are done right, you can convert these views into dollars. And that's why I'm making this video. Are you ready to not only blow up your viewership, but also retire just by using an app? If so, tap into this video. What's going on, millionaires? You're listening to the $1 Million Mind Podcast, episode 210 on the top 5 social media trends to grow a platform. This episode was sponsored by the Creators Community, the #1 hub for content creators who are learning to grow and monetize their platforms. The link going to be in the description below. Welcome back to the $1 Million Mind Podcast, the #1 platform for entrepreneurs for mindset and monetization. Get ready for yet another $1 million conversation, y'all, because we about to get crazy. This is going to unlock your mind, unlock your pockets so that you can grow to the next level. Let's get it. These trends have been right in front of your face, right? You see them daily. I guarantee it. You see these trends daily, and it's not even hard to point out, right? As soon as I mention it, you're gonna be like, oh yes, I've seen that, seen that, seen that, seen that. You've seen them all, and they're very clear. But new content creators are still struggling to identify the trends, surprisingly. And not only that, guys, they're not able to identify how to effectively use them. Some may have even started tapping into these trends, but still not sure on how to effectively use them to their benefit so that they can grow organically, right? So they can grow organically, not paid ads, but just through putting out the content and letting the video do the talking for them, right? I'm about to break down the most effective trends on social media to date that have helped me personally increase my engagement plus 174% in the last 30 days alone. Guys, I have tried at least 3 out of the 5. And that's a very important piece of information because not every single type of content is going to fit your personal brand. You might have a brand that might benefit off of dance videos and lip syncs, but may not benefit off of challenges. We're going to get into a little bit of what those mean. So let me pull up my screen here so y'all can see what I'm looking at, because I have right here a nice little table that I put together that shows from the highest impact down to the lowest impact as far as what you can be doing for these content trends, right? Be encouraged to try and test out which ones are going to work the best. But don't be discouraged when you try one and it doesn't work. That just means you need to try another one. See what sticks, see what resonates with your audience, and run with that. So let's get into it. These are the 5 content trends. At the top here, you see we have dance/lip sync videos. We got how-to tutorials. We got comedy skits, short vlogs and recaps. And then lastly, we got challenges. Now, you can follow any of these 5 highly performing trends across social media apps, and it will increase your engagements by 100% at the minimum, right? At the least, you will see 100% increase off of, I would say, a 30 to 60 day span of consistently posting, right? I'm not saying posting once a week. I'm saying posting once a day with maybe Sundays off, right? You're gonna have to put it out. You gotta see what works. That takes a lot of time. You gotta put it out. But when you put it out, I want you to see what gets you the highest impact and what has the lowest impact when doing these different types of videos, right? I gotta put my people on. I gotta put y'all on because I've been testing them out and I've been seeing, and just from understanding how these different boosters, I'm gonna call them boosters, right? How these different boosters work. I know the game now. I know what's gonna pipe up a certain type of content and what may not be useful for another type of content. So of course, for your dancing and lip sync videos, what's number one biggest impact? That's gonna be the trending sounds. If you're not using a trending sound, nobody's probably gonna see that dancing TikTok or that dancing video. You gotta be using trending sounds. And on top of that, collaborations have a very high impact as well because it allows you to tap in with that other influencers audience as well. Especially if y'all come together doing a dance or a lip sync or whatever. You know, you see the people doing that little swipe and come here and push away shit, right? Like those were really cool with collaborations. And now with Instagram having the collaborator feature, you get to directly get their traffic, right? Because it's on their feed and your feed and you get their audience. Now your audience is also going to them, but it's a win-win for everybody, right? You get to spread the love. Now on the lower end, as far as impact, you got over here your on-screen text, and then you have voiceovers. Now, on-screen text, not too bad. I say that on-screen text, depending on what your purpose is, if you're a content creator doing a lot of help content and you just happen to be doing a dancing and lip sync video and they do well on your page, what you could do is throw on some tips on the screen, and that's still, you know, I would say that still has a pretty good impact. But for the most part, like if you are an actual dancer, or like model and stuff like that, and you just doing like a bunch of lip sync videos, and like on-screen text may not be that big of an impact for you. And even lower impact voiceovers don't really do that much justice either, because most people are engaging because of the trending sound, especially if you're dancing. Like they want to hear the sound. They're there for the sound. Like that's the whole point of using the trending sound. So those work really well. Now going into the how-to tutorials, we have quite the opposite. On-screen text and voiceovers have the highest impact. These are very, very different, pretty much polar opposites from the dance and lip sync videos. Why is that? Because it's educational content now. Like you're giving people how-to tutorials. So having on-screen text in the form of maybe captions, like if you're doing a video like this and I'm just kind of talking to the camera and you putting this out on Instagram, you definitely want to have some captions because, again, most people are listening to the content with the volume off. But also, let's just say you're doing a how-to tutorial and you may not be talking in front of the camera. You may be showing people what you're doing. Like, let's say I'm doing a how-to tutorial on making the best lattes at home, right? And I'm just showing the process of me making it. I want to put my steps. Like I'm showing my steps on the video, but I also want to write out the steps and put them on the screen as well. On-screen text have high impact when it comes to these tutorials because, again, not everybody is watching these videos with the volume on. And if you just watching video with no sound and no words, it gets boring, so you swipe up. But at least like if you didn't have it and you had some trending sounds, people might stick around, right? Again, this goes into looking at seeing trending sounds have a medium impact on these types of videos. Trending sounds also have a medium impact on comedy skits, and we're going to get into that in just a bit. But lastly, when it comes to the how-to tutorials, collaborations have the lowest impact because, again, people are more so there for you. Not saying that you can't collaborate, but again, you're building your audience, you're showing your expertise and credibility, so collaborations don't really do you that much justice. On the flip side, collaborations have the highest impact when it comes to comedy skits. You see it all the time, like Country Wayne and Desi Banks, right? Like they were getting people all the time on their skits and doing collaborations with other comedians and other people who are doing skits or models and stuff like that, right? Desi Banks love getting some IG models. And it's a lot of other comedians that do this pretty well as well. So collaborations have a very high impact if you're going to be doing comedy skits. Now, going back to the trending sounds having a medium impact, again, they don't really have that big of an impact because, again, it's like they're comedy skits. People are trying to hear the joke. Like, they're trying to hear you. They're trying to hear the skit. So the trending sounds, even if you do use them, you turning them down, or if you are using the trending sound, you can turn it all the way off and just use the trend of sound just to maybe hit on the algorithm of that trend of sound, especially one that's really going viral, then you could probably use the trend of sound, but I would advise turning it all the way down. That's a little hack, right? Then lastly, you got voiceovers that don't really have that high of an impact, but also still make sure you're putting them on-screen text on your video so that people can follow even if their phone is on mute. Next, let's get into short vlogs and recaps. This is another one where trending sounds have the highest impact next to voiceovers. Voiceovers do really well. Like, you see the people doing get ready with me's, or the content creators say, this is how I start my day, even though there's some memes going out, like how they're so scripted, right? Like, obviously, I had to record me getting out of bed. Who else is going to do it? The trending sounds have a high impact, and the voiceovers also have a high impact because you can, give your own little twang, kind of tell a story. That's pretty much the benefit and how they have a high impact on the short vlogs. Now, on-screen text, medium impact. I'm not going to say it has low impact because I'll say really on-screen text will always have some form of impact. Like, as you notice, I don't have on-screen text with low impact on any of these. On-screen text will always have a high or medium impact on your video. So as much as you can think of, guys, put some text on the screen. And then collaborations have a low impact again because they short vlogs. It's like your day in the life. Is your get ready with me. This is like your personal brand. So collaborations, they don't always help. Challenges though. Challenges now, collaborations do have a very high impact. If you're doing a challenge with somebody else that's like another influencer that's in your space, let's say you're both financial advisors and you got this, budgeting product or budgeting tool that you want to sell. And they might not have the tool to sell, but they might have a bigger follower, larger follower than you. So you might partner with them and they have more expertise. So you partner with them and, you'll do 50-50 on the sales of the product and 50-50 on the tickets of the challenge. Or if it's a free challenge, just do 50-50 on the sales of the product, right? Collaborations do have a very high impact on challenges. So do on-screen text as well. Now, trending sounds, medium impact, low impact is going to be your voiceovers because if I'm doing a challenge, I need to be live in full effect, right? I don't really want to do a voiceover. So they have low impact on the challenges. So guys, that's the chart. If you need to, take a little screenshot of this, or if you want it, I put together this free playbook. You can go to kaispeaks.com/community to download that free playbook. This is one of the pages, but we also got a whole playbook full of social media growth tips that'll help you grow, monetize, and scale your platforms, okay? So download that from kaispeaks.com/community. I'll put that link also in the description below. Now, you should look at these trends, guys, in all honesty, totally different now. Like, since I gave you the game wrapped up with a bow on it, you should be looking at this game differently, especially knowing that you have been missing out on so much money. Like, there is so much money you've been missing out on by not putting out content consistently, right? Like, I get, like, if you making money word of mouth, times that by 10 for the money that you could be making online. Like, this online money, guys, is different. Too many times, I think ego makes us go against the grain when in most cases we should be going with the grain. Like, when social media tells you, like, this is a little tip, a little hack. When Instagram sends that message at the top of a new feature that they're trying to introduce, it might be in your best interest to try out that new feature because their algorithm is going to be promoting that feature. Especially if it's a feature with, like, getting creative with reels and trying this new tool or trying this new filter and everything like that. Try that joint out because it's probably going to make a couple of your videos blow, right? So go with the grain, not against the grain, right? Don't try to reinvent the wheel. You didn't create the algorithm. The apps did. So go with the flow. Go with the flow of things. That's like somebody else coming to your house trying to tell you why you got the shoes lined up right here instead of down the hall. Well, you gonna tell them that don't make no damn sense because that you gotta wear your shoes or walk your shoes all the way on the other end of the house where you could just take them off right here, right? You don't want people coming in your house telling you how to manage it, maintain it, or move around it, right? So don't do that. Don't try to tell them how to move around the app. If they got an algorithm, go with the flow of that algorithm. You in their house. You're in their house. Just respect it, right? So thanks, guys, in advance for tuning in for another episode of the $1 Million Mind Podcast. I hope y'all got a ton of value from this information. If you did, make sure you like and share this with a friend. Subscribe if you did not already. And again, I want you all to join me and some of the top content creators of our generation in the creators community. We meet every single Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to go over live trainings, content strategy, marketing and branding tips. And you can also join our Discord chat for 24/7 member chat, right? So we can all talk, exchange notes, collaborate, mastermind and network with one another. If you're still watching right now, that must mean you enjoyed this content, and that must mean you might be looking to monetize your platforms. So go ahead and hit that comment or hit that link in the description to join the creators community, and I'll see y'all next Tuesday. With that said, just remember to keep focused, build momentum, and drive results so you can live abundantly. Peace.